Hello everyone, what is up? Welcome to episode 1 of Therapy Session, the podcast. I'm your host, Michaela Renee. Welcome to the channel. If you're excited for this, don't forget to subscribe to the channel down below. You can wait till later if you want to, but why not just do it now? You can always unsubscribe. It is free, okay? Hi guys, oh my gosh, if you're a watcher of my channel, you would know that I've been wanting to start a podcast for a long ass freaking time, and I have an itchy nose, but we're gonna have to leave it in because it's a podcast and I'm not editing this, okay? I also don't know if the mic is gonna work, so could just be audio from my iPhone, okay? I'm learning. I have started a podcast before. I did a pilot episode, and honestly, I made it too difficult on myself because I had like a little setup and everything, and I would have to like move everything. You guys know, if you don't know, I live in a really tiny apartment, so if I set something up, I have to break it back down, put it back up, break it back down. So I want to make the setup as easy as possible, and for some reason, I was letting that stop me from actually like making the content because I would sit down with my ugly ass wall over here, which is covered by whatever this is in the background, but I would film in front of that and it's just so ugly, and I'd be like, I don't want to post this, like I hate this. So I just put this up. It looks better, whatever. I did just want to quickly say, because I feel like I'm gonna get questions, my top is actually a dress. It is from Target. I literally got it for $10, so if you got a Target near you, they have a bunch of these in different colors. I have a pink one, a black one, and this one. It's just a bodycon dress. I'm not gonna stand up and show you, but it's really cute. It's just green all the way down with this all the way down too. My earrings are from Target as well. They're cute, so I thought I'd mention them, and I feel like I might get questions. So that's the OOTD, the outfit of the podcast. Oh, that's our OOTP, okay? We will add segments throughout this. So if I say something you guys like, let me know, and I will like put that in the itinerary for every episode. If I do like a segment without saying it's a segment, let me know if you wanted me to keep talking about specific topics in every episode, if that makes sense. If you watch podcasts, that will make sense. I watch some podcasts. I like video podcasts, so that's why I wanted to do this on YouTube. I love live streaming. I love all that stuff. I watch H3. I watch Colleen Ballinger. I watch Devora Roloff. I watch Trisha's long videos sometimes, which is basically a podcast. So I just thought this would be a cool little medium to, I don't know, I guess we're just hopping into it. I guess we can just keep going. I already done hopped into it. Okay, that's something I'm good at. Getting to the point, okay? So before we actually like get straight to the point, seriously, please don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel because 90% of the people that watch my videos are not subscribed, and I really am on a journey to grow this channel. So please subscribe. If you are excited for the podcast or you just want to help me, help a girl out, thumbs up, please. Please, down there, wherever it is, help your girl out because she needs it. Okay, I am in a 1-bedroom apartment with my mother. My mattress is on the floor. Okay, this is a bed sheet. Okay, we need to up the quality. So the more people that watch this, the more we will be able to up the quality, and thumbs ups just help. So do comments. So leave a pink heart emoji down below if you are here and you're excited, just because I need engagement, okay? I love you. Also, I have an OnlyFans. I have 2 OnlyFans actually. We're just gonna get the promo part of the intro out of the way, okay? Give me 30 seconds. I have 2 OnlyFans. One of them has all my sex tapes on it on the feed, and the other one has the sex tapes on my PPV, like in the messages, and then it has like lewds and nudes on the feed, and they're both the same price. So you can get the sex tapes, you can get both, you can get whatever. Those will be in the description. Everything I talk about will be linked in the description, so just check it out. I also have a GoFundMe that is up to help me raise money for court fees. You can read all about that down below. It will be in the description. I don't want to go like too into it because I made a whole video about it, but go down below, read everything. I also have an Instagram. It is just xMichaelaFans. I have a bunch of backups for Instagram and they're in that bio. So follow all of them in case Instagram decides to delete me for like the 4th or 5th time. I'm being serious. Seriously, for the 4th or 5th time, okay? I also have a TikTok. I rarely post on it though. I post shorts on here a lot though. Okay, I think the promo part of the video is over. Part of the podcast. Michaela, you're doing a podcast. This is a podcast. Even though it's the same thing that I've always been doing, it just looks different. And hopefully the audio sounds better, but I don't know if this is gonna work. If it doesn't work, we'll get it figured out, okay? I am also going to be posting these on Apple and Spotify if I can figure it out. So if that's down below, please go rate that 5 stars or give it whatever you do on Spotify. I know Apple Music, it's Apple Music on Apple Podcasts. It's a 5-star type thing. So go leave a review. And if you like this podcast, leave a review in the comment as well of this YouTube video, okay? Okay, I think I'm actually done with that now. Okay, the beginning of these podcasts are just going to be updates into my life because I feel like, okay, a huge reason I wanted to do a podcast is because I wanted a format to be able to talk to you guys in long form. I do a lot of shorts because that really helps grow my channel, but at the same time of growing my channel, I want to be able to talk to you guys, you know? The main reason I do YouTube anyways is to chat with you guys. You guys know, if you've been with me since the beginning, I've always done these therapy session videos, so we can go into the name of the podcast and like where this really like came from. So let me just give you a little backstory. In 2020, I had left an abusive relationship. And when I left that abusive relationship, I told myself, okay, you're gonna focus on YouTube. You're gonna do this for yourself. You're gonna figure out a way to make money online and make something for your life because you have nothing. I lived in an apartment with him. I had a car with him. Everything I had was tied to him. I left him with like $400 or something. And I moved back in with my mommy, which is where I'm at still 2.5 years later. So since then I made a promise to myself to be vulnerable on the internet, because if I'm not vulnerable here, I will not be vulnerable anywhere else in my life. I feel like this is a safe space for me. I've been talking to the camera since I was in 6th grade. 12, 11, 13, around that age. I remember posting YouTube videos. My channel name was Miss Lovable 98. I have tried to find it. I think I just privated everything. But I posted videos in 6th grade and I don't know. Okay, anyways, I don't know where I was going with that. Sometimes you're gonna notice this in this podcast because I'm not editing it too. You're gonna notice that I get off track a lot and I forget about what I'm talking about a lot. But I will always circle back around. I always find a way to circle back around. So if you watch the whole episode, you will get conclusions. But your girl is ADHD, so my mind be going in loops and I get distracted, okay? So that's that. Just be patient with me. It's just me, okay? I promise I will try my best to finish my thoughts, okay? Even though I don't even know what I was just talking about. I really don't know. Maybe that's because I smoke a lot of weed, or because I have memory issues from all my trauma, or both. okay? It could be both. Okay, I was talking about why I wanted to do this podcast. I remember, okay? I have been doing these little therapy sessions since then, but I didn't really call them anything. In the videos, I would always be like, ha ha ha, it's like we're having a therapy session, but I didn't like call them anything. I'd be like, hey guys, welcome to another therapy session. But it was always like ironic. It was me being silly, but that's actually what it is. Like, I am seriously sitting down with you guys, having a therapy session with you. So I don't know. I need somewhere to talk about my feelings. And I also think that this is pretty entertaining. I don't know. We'll see how this does. I think it's pretty entertaining. I feel like I can talk someone's ear off, and I just need a place to do that. So I don't care if it's entertaining or not. Watch it or don't, okay? Give it a thumbs down and give me a hate comment down below. Recently, I know I'm getting off topic, but recently I have been loving hate comments. My shorts have been I also can't talk sometimes, okay? My shorts have been getting a lot of more views lately than they usually do, so I've been getting a lot more hate comments than I usually do. And honestly, I've been having a lot of fun with that. I don't know if that sounds like sadistic to myself. I'm like, oh, I fucking love reading my hate comments, but lately I've been loving them. They're so funny, and I think I've just gotten to the point where it doesn't really bother me, so they're funny. And I love that, because I used to just post videos that I wanted, I don't know, I would be worried about, when I was making the video, I would be knowing what the comments were gonna say, so I would like adjust myself, but now I just post whatever I want to post. And I post a lot of like me walking down, my shorts are crazy, go watch them, I love them so much. A lot of like me just walking downstairs with my titties jiggling, and everybody's like, what the fuck is this? I love those comments so much. I love it. Okay, I really do love it. But yes, I've been doing therapy sessions on my channel from the beginning of time. Like I said, I had a channel back in the day. We're gonna go into my little like YouTube history for a second, because we're gonna do a little history lesson for you, those of you guys that don't know me, okay? I am Michaela. Let's just do a little intro episode. That's what this is gonna be. This is gonna be just an intro episode. I'm sure you know that by the title, but I just figured that out. Okay, so my name is Michaela. I am 23 years old. I'm about to turn 24, which is actually crazy because I feel like I just turned 23 yesterday. Actually, my birthday is November 8th, 1998. I had to think for a second about the year. I don't know why. That's my birthday. November 8th, 1998. I am a Scorpio sun, a Cancer moon, a Gemini rising. I'm not done. I am one of those bitches, okay? I literally have tarot cards right here, so don't even play with me. I am one of those bitches, and I'm not just one of those bitches that pretends to be one of those bitches. I actually am one of those bitches, okay? So I will be talking about those things in this podcast. Maybe not this episode, but that's me, girlfriend. That's me. So yes. Oh, and I am a Scorpio Lilith and a Scorpio Venus. So I just have a lot of Scorpio in my chart, which is why I love occult things. I love tarot cards. I love psychology. I love the deep, dark things of the brain. I love everything like that, and I always have. I love talking about sex, and other people don't like talking about sex. Subscribe to my OnlyFans to literally see the sex in action. A lot of people don't do that. I feel like I don't know, I thrive off of things like that. I cannot have conversations that aren't deep. So that's what this podcast is going to be. I'm going to be diving into deep topics that I'm even scared to talk about, and I talk about everything, okay? I'm gonna talk about, for example, I have episodes in my head of mommy issues, daddy issues, growing up around drugs, my dad's family history. They used to, his mother was like locked in cages, or her siblings were locked in cages and she was molested, like stuff like that. ancestry is insane, and I think that being able to share my stories and show how I've come out of that type of environment and made a better environment for myself is really helpful. So I'm gonna share stuff like that on this podcast too. I've been through a lot. I have a lot of trauma. That's why this is called therapy session again. Not I have a lot of trauma. I don't like hold it with me, carry it with me. I guess I do. It has really, really, really shaped my life experience. It shaped everything in my life. So I grew up in Claremore, Oklahoma. I grew up with a little brother. He is 4 years younger than me. So I'm 23, he's 19. He's about to turn 20, I'm about to turn 24. I grew up with my parents married, but wishing they weren't married. I grew up really disliking my dad and idolizing my mom. And I was very like codependent on my mom for a long time till it created resentments, all that stuff. I went to high school in Claremore, Oklahoma. If you're from Claremore, leave a zebra emoji down below because our mascot's a zebra, okay? I love Claremore, okay? And I will ride hard for my hometown. I used to hate it, but I grew up in Claremore, Oklahoma. It's a tiny town in Oklahoma. I used to look up the population, but I don't remember it because people are like, how small is your small town? Let's compare. Mine has 3,000. Mine has 20,000. Mine has 60,000. Is it really a small town? I don't remember. But if I go to Walmart, I know everyone there, okay? And my senior class was like 250, I think. I also graduated with a 1.9 GPA. That's a fun fact. I did not care about school. I was preoccupied. What was I preoccupied with in school? Music. That's another fun fact about me. Yeah, I was born in Claremore. I grew up loving to sing. My mom tells me at like 2 years old, like as young as she can remember, I was like watching The Little Mermaid over and over and over and over and couldn't sleep without it playing while I was sleeping. And I would sing and dance and say I was gonna be on Broadway and say I was gonna move to LA, say I was gonna go to Hollywood, go to all these crazy things, audition for American Idol. Not that that's crazy, I would still love to do all of these things one day. But that point was to say I've been like this since I was young. And so yeah, I didn't really do anything with music until 7th grade. I joined choir. This is a huge turning point in my life. I really don't remember a lot of my life before choir. Choir feels like where my life started. I low-key love looking back at my high school career. I hated high school in the moment. I had a lot of friends in like junior high, but when I got to high school, I kind of stopped having friends. I'll get into the friends that I did have. We're gonna get into that into this episode because we're just gonna go into my history. But I had a lot of friends in junior high. When I got to high school, they all kind of like started slipping away year by year. I'm gonna make a cut right now in the video because I have a DoorDash order waiting at my door and I just don't want someone else to take it. So give me a second. I'm gonna go get my Mexican food and let it get cold in my kitchen until we're done filming this episode. Okay, I am back. If things are moved a little bit, it's because when I sat down, this came out of the wall. Like the pins came out of the wall and I had to like put it back down. And now I'm out of breath. Okay, from getting up and up, down. Okay. Okay. But yes, I started choir in 7th grade. Okay, I love this. This is gonna be all over the place and I love it. Hopefully you guys like the chaotic energy too. Oh my gosh. Okay. I started choir in 7th grade and this is a huge part of my story because as soon as I started choir, I met a lot of friends and they got me out of my box. Choir, I was a very, very, very shy kid in every class besides choir. And choir, I just came out of my shell. It wasn't just the friends, it was that I was doing something I knew I was kind of good at. And in 7th grade, I met someone named, am I gonna say his name? Someone named Connor, okay, we'll just be honest. And he really changed my perspective of music, and he was my best friend for maybe 3 years, maybe 2, but I don't know. We on and off again type of friendship, so I don't know how long we were really like friends, but I've known him since 7th grade. I would say we were best friends, like inseparable, for probably like 2 or 3 years, and then acquaintances after that when we stopped like being petty about things. But I met him, he introduced me, we met in maybe 8th grade actually. But anyways, around that time I met him and he changed everything for me. He gave me confidence. I remember him pushing me to audition for my first solo that I did not get, but still I sang in front of my peers, and I don't know, he really got me out of my shell and made me do things that I would have never done. I joined a talent show with him, and we did like 4-part harmonies in 7th grade in a talent show. And from there, I would start writing songs with him. He taught me everything I know about piano. Connor has taught me. I play piano slightly. I can play chords, which again, I learned from him. And we would just be in ensemble rooms, and I was attached to him. We were attached at the hip for a few years, and I learned so much about music. I learned so much about singing from him. His family is insanely talented. I remember I even like entered a competition called Claremore's Got Talent with him. And I don't know, before I got to high school, that was my like music career. I was like so focused on music and writing songs and just expressing my emotions through music. And I kind of like fell out with him, and I stayed in choir though because I loved it. I also had the same choir director from 7th grade to senior year. My entire choir career, I had the same teacher. His name is, we would call him Mr. Dunking. And I loved him. He made such an impact on my life as well. I just feel like I met so many people in that time of my life that really affected me, like affected my heart, because I had so much going on at home. I did not want to be around my family. I wanted to be either with my friends, Chloe and Celeste and Connor and Casey, all of our friend group. I'm just gonna say real names because who cares? They're just first names. But yeah, I would hang out with all of those people, and they became my family. I perceived them as family. I was very possessive over them, very protective over them, and I just grew really close to them because my life at home just wasn't what I wanted it to be. My dad is narcissistic. He would never get diagnosed, so yes, I am just saying that, but he is. I have a history with narcissists, starting with him, so I know he's a narcissist. Narcissists do not get diagnosed for things, and even if he went in there, they would probably diagnose him with bipolar or something, because he would have to get a therapist that specializes in narcissism. So he is a narcissist. So I grew up being controlled. I grew up really like not being able to speak my mind because it would set him off. So I really learned to develop my inner world and to develop what I wanted to do so I could get out of the house. I also in high school had a bunch of boyfriends from, I'll tell you real quick. I dated a boy named Matthew for about 1.5 years at 15. After that, I was single for maybe 2-3 months in between every single relationship, okay? So I'm not gonna keep saying that, but I was just in a relationship, single for 2-3 months, in a relationship, single for 2-3 months. But the first one was 1.5 years. The next one was Jaime, which was like 2.5 years. The next one was Romero, which was like a year. But we lived together pretty much the entire time. And then the last boyfriend that I had is Corey, and we were together for about 2 years. I lived with him as well. We moved states together. I moved from Oklahoma with him to Arizona, which is where I live now. I ended up moving my mom and my brother out to Arizona. My mom is still here. My brother did end up going back to Oklahoma. I know that sounds like a little confusing because he's also going to be coming back to Arizona. So it's just back and forth, hopping back and forth. He has a girlfriend named Nikki. I don't know. She's important in my life, I feel like. She's an important name to know. I'm just kind of like setting the scene for you guys. So everything that I talk about in episodes, in upcoming episodes, you're gonna know who I'm talking about, okay? My best friend, her name is Celeste. Hi Celeste, if you're watching this. I will have her on this podcast one day because we wanted to do a podcast together, but we just don't live near each other. So she'll be on this podcast one day. I promise you she will be on my channel. My best friend's name is Celeste. I have known her since high school. She's not a choir friend or anything like that. She was just, I think we met in like we met in the debate class in like 7th, 8th grade. No, high school. We met in freshman year in debate class, for a fact. We did. We sat next to each other. Everybody thought we were lesbians because we would just stick up for each other. And also we were in a debate class and we're from a very conservative town. So we would be like arguing for gay rights and we would be the only people on that side, or arguing for things like weed. Like, and we would always be on the same side because we're best friends. Like we have the same, you know, we have the similar opinions. We're best friends. Like, of course we're gonna. And then I remember one time, this is just to set the scene that everybody thought we were lesbians. It's so funny. I don't know. But I remember her getting me a bear for Valentine's Day. Stuff like that. Like, we were very, very, very close. But no one knew that we were insane outside of school. I would take her on my Tinder escapades. I swear I was 16 on Tinder, matching with people that were way older than me. Do not do that. Do not do that, okay? You're gonna get these men in trouble because you're a 16-year-old and they don't know you're 16, okay? I would not date like 25-year-olds. I would go after like 18, 19-year-olds. And I would always be honest with them eventually. Or like when I met them in person, I would be like, actually I'm 17, or actually I'm 16, or actually like whatever age I was. But I was at least 16. I think I was like 17. But that's where I met my boyfriends too. I met my second boyfriend when I was 16, 17 on Tinder, and he was 18, 19. So whatever. I lived in a small town. I wanted to meet those Tulsa boys, okay? Which was the like big city outside of our town. I wanted to meet the boys that weren't going to my high school, okay? Leave me alone. But I would take her on my Tinder escapades. We would like go to our big city. If someone hears me say that, they're gonna laugh if they're from Oklahoma. We would go to our big city. It's not a big city, but I'm just trying to paint the picture, okay? We'd go to the city and like meet boys. I would like take her downtown Tulsa with, I don't know, we would just meet people, okay? And we should have died so many times. I was very out there in high school. I also had a best friend named Chloe. She now has kiddos. I love her. I still consider her one of my best friends. Celeste, I keep more in contact with, but I love Chloe. She just has kiddos and it's difficult to, I don't know, you know, you're busy. But, yeah, she has kiddos now, but her and I were insane. I would say she was my best friend in high school and junior high. I met her in 7th grade. and we would just be weird in the back of our math class and literally like growl, and the teacher the teacher would be like, girls, like, knock it off, like, stop it, girls, like, what are you guys doing? We would be in the back of the class like, and I don't know, she chose me. I was very shy and she approached me. I don't know if we like sat next to each other. I don't know if that's even the class that we met in. It could have been a different class, but I just remember that class and us growling in the back of the class. But after that, I would like walk home with her after school because she lived near the school. We would go to the hospital after school because there was a vending machine. That's a lot of my high school memories, are me and her just being there for hours in the hospital in the waiting room because the hospital's right next to the school. But we would just chill, we would just laugh, we would just like, we're like, we don't want to go home, so we would hang out in the hospital lobby. I don't know why they let us do that. Did her mom work there? Something. I don't know. I don't know why we were there. We would just always get snacks from the vending machine. I don't know. We would get like chocolate milk and donuts. I don't know. And it was like on the way to like walking home to her home. And I don't know. We got into a lot of shit too. I have been arrested a lot of times. In high school, it was more of me being like, it was in a small town, so we had like curfews and stuff, and me not obeying the curfew, I would get in trouble with the cops all the time because I lived in a small town. So I'm gonna say my like arrest history or whatever, and you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, but it literally is because, see, Nikki is in the group chat right now. My brother, my mom, and Nikki and I have just a group chat. Anyways, I'm gonna say my arrest history and you're gonna be like, what the fuck? But I swear, like, I'm not a bad person. I just lived in a tiny town. And if you, like, for example, the first time, I don't know if it's the first time actually, one of the first times I interacted with the cops, I was literally just walking from McDonald's to my boyfriend's house with Chloe, the first boyfriend, Matthew. And they just like pulled us over. We were just freaking walking home, and I got community service for that, and it was like a huge thing. I felt like such a bad person. I had so much shame because my mom is such a good kid. She never like got in trouble, and I got in trouble so much, so I had so much shame around that. My dad would always be like, you're so much like me. Because he's an awful person, but he used to get in trouble and stuff, and he would be like, you're so much like me. But yeah, and then after that, I would like smoke weed, and we got in trouble for smoking weed, and someone in the car stole beer. So we got in trouble for that. That was a huge thing. We got pulled over and they like pulled guns and stuff. It's a small town, but we were like 16, I swear. So I don't really know what was going on there, but I do vividly remember them having guns pointed at us, and there was like 3. I remember them also calling us. I have a story time about this on my channel called I Was Arrested at 16. So if you want to hear that story, it doesn't have views. So if you want to have that story, maybe I'll tell it on the podcast. I don't know. If you want to hear that, let me know. Leave a jail emoji down below and I will tell the jail story time on a podcast episode, okay? But, yeah, I don't know. I would do stuff like that, but things would just be made a huge deal because I lived in a small town. Like, we just stole like a 6-pack of beer, a 12-pack of beer, and they followed us around the town. And we were like smoking weed and stuff too, but that's another thing about me. I love weed. I still smoke weed to this day. Do I have my vape over here? I don't know where my vape is. It's in a bag and I don't know where the bag is. I think it's over there. But I smoke a lot of weed. I've been smoking since I was 14. I've been smoking very, very, very consistently since I was like 17 though. So not the whole time I've been smoking like extremely consistently though. I would say I've been smoking every single day since 2021, but before that I would smoke like pretty often, like a few times a week. But in the beginning of my smoking weed, when I would smoke every day at 17, I would have like a gram and smoke it out of a water bottle, and it would last me like a month. So was I really smoking just to go to sleep? I don't know. Now I'm like a straight up stoner. I smoke so much. My tolerance is so high, and I will talk about that a lot because I get annoyed a lot. I'm like, I need weed, but it's not working. I'm taking dabs. It's not working, okay? I will probably mention that so many times on this podcast. But yes, love me some weed. I'm very open to drugs. I'm not gonna shoot up H or anything or do M. I watched this girl, her name's Jessica Kent. See, I love stuff like this. Like, I love like prison shit. I love, I don't know, drugs. I love the like taboo topics. It's a Scorpio thing, okay? But I watch her and that's how she calls the drugs, okay? So I'm picking up the lingo from her, okay? I have been around crack pipes before. I just remember being at someone's house. I'm not gonna say the house, but if you were in my friend group, you know whose house I'm talking about. But I remember being at this person's house and then being like, don't go in the bathroom. There's a crack pipe in there. I don't want you to like get involved. Or like something. I really don't remember. But I just remember her being like, there is a crack pipe in this vicinity. I don't want you to see it, so don't go there. Okay? But I've seen people snort stuff. I, for some reason, never did stuff like that. I just smoked weed. It took me a while to even smoke weed at first. My brother's like this, but I was like this at first too. Like, I was like, I'll never do drugs. My brother is still like that, and he's 19. I don't know if he's ever like gonna be like that forever. He took a 500 milligram edible. That's another story. He'll be on this podcast too eventually, and maybe my mom too, and Nikki might be on here. Everybody, hopefully I can get everybody on here. But he took a 500 milligram edible for his first time. He's never smoked. He took a fucking 500 milligram edible for the first time. But I don't know where I was going with that. But anyways, oh yeah. I used to say I wasn't gonna do drugs, and then now I'm a little druggy. Okay, I'm not really a little druggy. I just smoke a lot of weed. And I used to think I was a druggie because I smoked a lot of weed. And my dad has, here we go. My dad has substance use disorder. Most narcissists have some sort of substance use disorder. He's an alcoholic. I don't know what to call him. He's gotten DUIs. I remember, we're just going all over the place. I have no rhyme or reason to what I'm talking about right now. We are just flowing, okay? We are just getting to know each other, okay? I remember when I was first dating my most recent ex, Corey, the abusive one, in the first month of our relationship, my dad got a DUI. And I was on my way to pick my dad up from jail with my family, with my mom and my brother. And I texted my boyfriend at the time and said, do you want to come with us? I swear we were dating for a month, if that, a few weeks. That was my life. I don't know if that sounds crazy to you guys, but that sounds crazy to me now. Like, I don't do anything now. I just sit at home in my bed and I make things. I don't know. Like, the equivalent of knitting is what I do, okay? But it's just online, okay? I just sit here. And my brain just goes. That's all I do. But I used to be crazy. I used to be crazy. Obviously, he was not a good person for me to be around, but I don't know. We clicked at the time. I don't know. I was just used to people like that. I guess because my dad is like that. A lot of trauma to get into that we're not going to get into right here, right now. We'll have full episodes about all the trauma, okay? We're going to go person by person, I swear. maybe not relationship by relationship. Maybe I'll do like a relationship episode and just talk about everything. But, okay, I've been through a lot. Everybody tells me, they're like, you have lived 19 lives. I'm like, I know, but I'm 23. I'm 23! I don't know if it sounds like that to you guys, but I feel like I've lived a lot of life. Anyways, I'm like in choir. I used to compete. I know we're jumping all over the place, but I used to compete. Like, I was really good. I used to compete. I used to go to all district and all state competitions. I really loved choir. I don't think I put an emphasis on that enough. I talked about Connor because he was my first love, and I just wanted to like mention that. I didn't say he was my first love. He is my first love. He like made me fall in love with music even more, and I also fell in love with him in the process. He is also gay. So that is how that turned out. But yeah, I would compete. I would audition for solo after solo after solo. My junior and senior year, I got every single thing that I auditioned for. I would have a solo at every concert. It didn't matter. We would have 4 to 5 concerts a year, and I would have a solo at every single thing. I was in a group called Belle Chante, which was like a jazz all women group. And I loved that. We would like travel and go to like competitions. I would do solo and ensemble competitions. I would do sight reading competitions. I would, like I said, go to all district and all state, which are like multiple rounds. And I got a phone call, but I would go to all district and all state auditions, and those would be like multiple rounds. And that was just my life. I also was in musical after musical after musical. Let me see if I can remember all of them. My first one was South Pacific. My next one was Grease. I was also in Legally Blonde, although that was not the next one after that. Sorry, my phone's about to die too. we got 20% left, so there's some time. But what is the other one I was in? Is that all? I feel like that took up my entire, I feel like I'm missing one, but I don't know. We're not cutting it out though. I don't know what my other one was, but I was in musicals and competed. And musicals, we would stay for hours after school, hours for months. So that was like a huge chunk of my life. I would be in plays too. I was in a play called Midsummer Night's Dream, and we would do like galas. Like, I remember we would have like Valentine's Day galas where we would dress up in these cute little red dresses and sing. I don't know. I did so much stuff like that. We would travel. We would go to like Oklahoma City or go to different places around Oklahoma to compete. And I really loved it. I would love to do a musical in my adult life. I loved it so much. I have been in a principal cast once, though I was always just like in the chorus. I was very shy, and eventually I got out of that shyness enough to have lines, but it took me until my senior year for me to be comfortable enough to even audition for lines, okay? I would always audition for vocals, but it would be very difficult for me to audition with lines. And if you wanted lines, you would have to dance and stuff too, so I was just a scared little gal. But I have probably done 50 to 100 auditions in my lifetime. So that's where a lot of my confidence has come from. Confidence. I've probably done 200 auditions in my lifetime, actually, because I had to audition for solos and things that I probably don't even remember. And we would sing at assemblies and stuff. Okay, I've probably 200. I don't know. But yeah, I freaking loved it. And I feel like I was going somewhere with that, but I forgot where I was going. I freaking loved it, and that was a lot of my life. And I feel like, oh, here we go. That's where I got a lot of my confidence, because I had to be told no. And I had to like build myself up and have work ethic and like be at home learning these songs over and over and over and over, even though I didn't want to listen to these songs anymore. But like, I wanted to win, you know? And it really paid off. It really paid off. I did so much fun stuff. I got into so many things that I don't even know if people know what they are, you know? But because I was in music, obviously it was a big deal to me. But that built my confidence a lot. And that also is why I have the confidence to like do YouTube. After high school, I kind of got burnt out on music a little bit because just some stuff happened. I don't know, just like life happened, and I was like, I've been doing this for so long. Is this really what I want to do? In senior year, I was getting really confused. Like, am I going to go to college? Do I want to be a choir director? Because that's what I wanted to do. Because in choir, I would always like lead the altos, which were like my vocal range or whatever. I would always like lead them in competitions and teach them. So I thought that's what I wanted to do. And then I was like, I don't want to go. I don't want to go to college. I hate this. I tried to go to college for a semester. I hated it. And then I was like, dude, what am I supposed to do with my life? I was like, I guess I'm not going to be a choir director, but that's what I thought I wanted to be for so long. And then I finally moved out with that boyfriend, the third boyfriend that I was talking about, Romero. And we broke up, and I lived in that apartment for maybe 3 months by myself, and I started to do YouTube. So that was in 2018. My first videos are in that apartment that I lived in with that boyfriend. And it was a tiny, tiny, tiny apartment. We did not even have a door to the bedroom. It was a studio, but it kind of looked like a 1 bedroom, but there was just no door to make it a bedroom, if that makes sense. And the smallest kitchen ever with literally 1 counter. And the worst lighting ever, because I was just in a dark box. I mean, I look like I'm in a dark box now, but it kind of fits the vibe because we're just like in bed chilling, but having a therapy session. But yeah, I started YouTube then, and I would just do hauls or whatever. And then I wasn't consistent with YouTube because I was honestly like very shy, and I didn't know what I needed to do yet. And I was just still very confused. I'm not gonna lie, I'm still confused in life. I think that is a consistent thing. If you try to make sense of things, you're gonna be confused. So just try not to make sense of things. Just let things happen. But I was very confused. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I met this boy. I had always wanted to move out of Oklahoma because I lived in a small town. I was gonna move out of state for college if I went to college, but I decided not to go to college. So I had met this boy, and he was willing to move with me after a few months of dating. We had talked about it a lot, and we both wanted to go. So we moved to Arizona. That relationship was extremely abusive. A lot of stuff happened. I have a video called Corey Alexander Graham on my channel, which is just a story of our entire relationship. If that is something you want to hear about, maybe I'll do a whole episode. Maybe he will be on my podcast one day. Maybe I would be open to that and just grill him. I would be open because I'm not scared of him anymore, but he's crazy. I don't know if he's still crazy. I'm gonna assume he's still crazy, okay? But I've like had arguments with his new baby mama and everything. He's crazy. And I think he says that I'm the crazy one, you know? One of those. He literally gave me a concussion and bruises, and it was abusive. It was like, when I say abusive, I'm not saying toxic, I'm saying abusive. Is there a booger in my nose? I always get comments that there's boogers in my nose, but it's always my nose ring. Is there a real booger? I don't know, I feel like I felt something. But yes, I ended up moving to Arizona with him. We were here alone for probably 6 to 8 months, and I ended up moving my family here. They lived with me. My mom and my brother lived with me and Corey for a year, 8 months, 6 months. I don't know how long. And then after that, I moved with him. My mom moved into this apartment, and then I broke up with him. So I moved back with my mom, who luckily was in apartment on her own, and she had a room for me. From that, my brother moved because he just wanted to graduate with his friends and stuff in our hometown. So he moved back there. Arizona has taught me so much. I have lived here since 2019. I got here January 2nd, 2019. And it is it's September. It's September 17th, 2022. So I've lived here for 3 years, going on 3 years. I don't like it. I would like to leave. I miss rain. I love rain. I also think that is a Scorpio thing. I love rain. I miss it so much. I miss darkness. It's too bright. It's too sunny. The weather is just too happy for me. I need moody weather in my life. And then, let's see, after high school, after all of that happened, I ended up leaving him. I left him when I was 21. I met him when I was 19. So I was 21, fresh out of an abusive relationship, living on my mom's couch. I now have a bed, thank God, but I was living on her couch. And I traveled a lot after that. I told myself I was going to be single until I found someone who was going to marry me and treat me amazingly. Not just anyone to marry me, but like, you know what I mean. That's just a simple way of saying it. But yeah, and now I've been single since May 2020, so 2.5 years, going on 2.5 years. And I have hooked up a lot, and I started making sex tapes. As soon as I got single, I started taking YouTube extremely seriously, and a video of mine, which is still the most viewed at this time, at least when I'm filming this, is the most viewed video on my channel. That's not a short. So yeah, my OnlyFans video blew the heck up, and in turn, my OnlyFans blew the heck up. So I have been doing OnlyFans since 2020, like June 2020, and I've been full-time since. And I've been doing YouTube along with that, TikTok along with that, Instagram along with that. I've lost so many accounts because of OnlyFans, you know how that goes. If you're an OnlyFans girly, all of your stuff gets deleted because you're just a bad person, apparently. I don't think so, but apparently Instagram and everybody thinks so. But yes, I traveled a lot. I went to Seattle for the longest I've been anywhere, and I loved it so much back in 2021 in spring. I don't know, I did a lot of traveling. Went to Texas, I went to New Mexico. I met a lot of people from YouTube, and I don't know, is that where I'm at now? I'm trying to think. And I've just been dating people and sharing my experiences here, continuously doing OnlyFans, making sex tapes because my confidence has really just gone through the roof. I don't know where it goes after this, because what's after this? I don't know, but no one can shame me for anything because I literally show my asshole on the internet, okay? So if you're gonna make fun of me for something, it's probably not gonna work. Which is a superpower I have. I really enjoy that about myself. I love that I've been bullied my entire life, so now it doesn't really hurt. Which is why social media is for me. I used to actually like get really mad, and like, until recently, I used to get mad because I'm like, you're stupid. Like, I used to like fight haters back, okay? But now I just heart their comment. I heart every single comment, by the way. So if you comment, I will heart your comment. Even if you call me a fat pig whore, I will. Because you're giving me attention, so I'm gonna give you attention back, okay? But yeah, is that my life story? And then now I have been working on my relationship with my mom for a long time, and dealing with the mommy issues and all of the resentment and all of that kind of stuff. And I dealt with my daddy issues. That's what I've been doing, is sitting in this box for 2 years and dealing with my issues. And apparently now I'm here to share the conclusions that I've come up with after dealing with those issues. So those issues created this podcast. So thank you, issues, I guess. I'm looking at Bentley right now. If you guys don't watch my channel or you haven't watched a vlog of mine or something, I do have a Chihuahua. He is also in the cast of my life. His name is Bentley. He's asleep, so I'm not gonna get him and wake him up or whatever, but he's a 5-pound golden little Chihuahua. I love him so much. He's 8 years old. I adopted him with my ex, and I took him because my ex is crazy. He's an old man and he's got a lot of teeth issues, okay? So that's Bentley. I'm trying to think, is there anything else I want to say? I think that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching the first episode of this podcast therapy session with me, Michaela Renee. If you liked this episode, please give this video a thumbs up. If I have found a way to put this on Spotify and Apple and all of that, please go give it 5 stars. Even if you're not going to listen over there, please give it 5 stars, because why not? Go add all of my social media. It is in the description box. Comment a flower emoji down below if you got to the end of this podcast, because I want to know if you guys are watching the whole thing / listening to the whole thing. If you like the video versions, again, let me know down below. And if you have topics that you want me to talk about, like girl talk topics, anything that you need help with, if you have advice questions, we might do an advice segment. It just depends on what you guys want to hear. So if you guys have questions or topics or anything, please leave them in the comments down below. Don't forget to go see my sex tapes. Go watch them. They are really good. I watch them and get off to myself at night, okay? They are really good, but I could be biased. Go do that, okay? I love you guys so much. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, because 90% of you aren't. Thank you for being here. And that is gonna wrap it up for episode 1 of Therapy Session with Michaela Renee. Thank you guys so much for being here. I'm so excited. Okay, bye guys.